Stretching across the immense expanse of North America, two colossal backbones of stone and forest rise, each a realm of untamed wonder, ancient mystery, and relentless survival. These are the Great Smoky Mountains and the Rocky Mountains, twin sentinels of the continent, guardians of wildness and endurance. They are not simply vast ridges of stone, they are living, breathing worlds where every shadow and shaft of sunlight reveals a drama of survival. Deer threading through the undergrowth, black bears foraging for berries, and red foxes slipping silently between mossy trunks. In the Smokies, ancient hills roll beneath a perpetual blue mist, their forests dense and mysterious, while the Rockies thrust skyward, their jagged, snow-capped peaks standing as silent witnesses to eons of change and challenge. These landscapes are raw and untamed, shaped by wind, water, and time, places where storms rage, rivers carve deep valleys, and the land itself seems to breathe with a power older than memory. To step into these mountains is to enter a living epic, a story written in the language of stone and leaf, where every footfall echoes with the struggles and triumphs of those who have come before. The tale is etched in the rings of towering trees, in the cold rush of rivers that cut through the wilderness, and in the tracks left by elk, wolves and mountain lions, each mark a testament to the daily battle for survival. The air here is sharp and invigorating, heavy with the scent of pine needles and damp earth carrying the promise of rain and the memory of ancient forests. These wild places are alive with sound, the haunting bugle of a bull elk echoing at dawn, the thunder of waterfalls plunging into shadowed ravines, the soft whisper of wind weaving through alpine grasslands. Here solitude is profound, and the spirit finds sanctuary. The mountains offer a refuge not only for wildlife but for those seeking to reconnect with the primal rhythms of the earth. Though separated by vast distances, the Smokies and the Rockies share a singular purpose: to shelter life, to challenge the strong, and to inspire awe in all who enter their domain. Within their forests and crags, rare and remarkable creatures thrive, salamanders hidden beneath mossy logs, mountain goats scaling impossible cliffs, and trout darting through icy streams, each perfectly adapted to the harsh demands of mountain life. These mountains are the continent's water towers, their snowfields and forests feeding rivers that wind through valleys, nourishing millions and shaping the land far beyond their slopes. To understand these wild places is to unravel a tapestry of life, predator and prey, plant and pollinator, all bound together in a delicate balance that has endured for millennia. Yet these sanctuaries face mounting threats: climate shifts, invasive species, and the relentless encroachment of civilization. The scars of change are visible in withered forests and shrinking snowfields. Our journey will carry us from the mist-shrouded hollows of the Smokies to the wind-lashed summits of the Rockies, revealing the wonders and the perils that define these wild lands. We will witness the daily struggle for survival: bears overturning logs in search of grubs, mountain goats clinging to sheer rock faces, elk herds moving silently through the trees, each moment a testament to resilience. We will also meet those who dedicate their lives to protecting these wild places, planting new forests, restoring habitats, and standing watch over the fragile balance of life. This is a story of endurance and beauty, of predator and prey, of the eternal dance between life and the elements, a balance that must be fiercely guarded if these treasures are to survive. It is an invitation to look closer, to listen deeper, and to become a part of the ongoing saga of survival in the wild heart of America. The Great Smoky Mountains rise from the earth like ancient slumbering giants, their forms veiled in a perpetual dance of mist and shadow. Here the world feels suspended between dream and reality, every breath of wind carrying the cool, damp scent of moss and earth. These mountains, among the oldest on the planet, bear the gentle scars of time. Their contours, once jagged and fierce, have been softened and rounded by hundreds of millions of years of wind, rain, and the patient touch of water carving stone. The name Smoky is born from the ethereal blue-grey haze that drapes the slopes, a living veil that ebbs and flows with the shifting light. This phenomenon is not mere fog, but a breath exhaled by the forest itself. Trees and undergrowth release invisible clouds of volatile organic compounds, weaving a fine mist that lingers in the air. Sunbeams pierce this vapor, illuminating the woodland in a spectral glow, as if the forest holds its own secret dawn. This is a land of deep old magic, where every valley and ridge seems to whisper ancient secrets. The mist moves like a living thing, curling through hollows and over ridges, cloaking the world in mystery. Here, life is sculpted by water and shadow. Dew clings to every leaf, and shaded streams wind through dense undergrowth, their quiet murmurs echoing the heartbeat of the mountains. The Smokies are among the rainiest places in the United States. This abundance of moisture, mingling with rich, ancient soil, has given rise to a forest of astonishing diversity, a living tapestry woven from countless forms of life. Over 19,000 species have been documented here, from the tiniest insects to the towering trees. Yet the forest still guards its mysteries, with tens of thousands more species waiting to be discovered by those who venture into its depths. It is a world of bewildering variety. Towering tulip poplars and ancient hemlocks rise like pillars in a green cathedral, their trunks thick with the stories of centuries. In spring, the forest floor becomes a living mosaic, carpeted with wildflowers in every hue, delicate blooms that catch the morning light and sway gently in the cool mountain breeze. The dense canopy above filters sunlight into shifting patterns, creating a world of dappled light and shadow. In this cool, damp undergrowth, salamanders reign supreme, thriving in the moist sanctuary beneath the leaves. The rhythm of the Smokies is set by the turning of the seasons. Each brings its own transformation, painting the mountains in ever-changing colors and moods. Spring stirs the forest to life. Black bears emerge from their dens, blinking in the new light, while migratory birds return, their songs weaving through the fresh green canopy. Summer cloaks the mountains in a deep, vibrant green. The forest pulses with growth and abundance, shrouded in the ever-present, watchful mist. Autumn arrives in a blaze of colour, setting the hills alight with red, orange and gold, a final, brilliant celebration before the hush of winter. Winter brings silence. Snow blankets the higher elevations, transforming the familiar landscape into a world of stark, monochrome beauty, where every sound is muffled and every shape softened. This is a sanctuary of immense importance, a refuge for creatures that have vanished from other corners of the eastern United States. Here, red wolves and elk move through the mist, reminders of a wilder past. The Smokies are a living laboratory where the intricate connections between plants, animals, and their environment can be witnessed in their purest form. Every root, every wing, every paw print tells a story of survival and adaptation. The Great Smoky Mountains are not merely a park, they are a vital piece of America's natural heritage, a wild heart beating at the edge of civilization. They stand as a powerful reminder of the richness and resilience of life, a testament to the wonders our planet can sustain when left wild and free. And with this beauty comes responsibility, a duty to protect these ancient misty realms, to ensure that the secrets of the Smokies endure for generations yet to come. In stark contrast to the ancient rolling Smokies, the Rocky Mountains rise as a young, raw and untamed force, sharp, dramatic and unyielding. These mountains form a formidable wall of stone and ice, stretching for thousands of miles, a living monument to the colossal geological forces that buckled and thrust some of the Earth's crust skyward. Their jagged summits pierce the heavens, standing sentinel above the tree line where the world is stripped to its barest elements. Stone, snow, and endless sky. Here the landscape is one of extremes. Storms sweep in with little warning, winds howl across exposed ridges, and the air itself grows thin and biting. Survival in this realm demands not just strength, but an unbreakable will. The Rockies are the continent's backbone, a place of raw, untamed grandeur that both challenges and captivates all who dare to enter. The environment here is a vertical world, each elevation a new domain. Ecosystems are stacked one atop another, each layer a test of adaptation and endurance. At the base, grassy foothills and montane forests of ponderosa pine and Douglas fir stretch out, home to mule deer and elk, creatures that move with silent vigilance through the shadows. Climb higher, and the forest thickens into a realm of subalpine fir and Engelmann spruce, where deep snows cloak the land in winter's silence. Above the last trees, the alpine tundra sprawls, windswept, stark, and seemingly barren. Here the land is stripped to its bones and the sky feels impossibly close. Yet even in this harshest of places, life endures. Hardy wildflowers burst from the rocky soil, and small mammals like pikas and marmots scurry among the stones, defying the elements. To survive here is to adapt. Every creature, every plant, shaped by the Rockies' dramatic seasons and relentless challenges. Winter is a time of trial. The high country is locked in snow and ice, battered by blizzards and shrouded in a cold, unforgiving light. Animals must migrate to lower ground, hibernate in hidden dens, or develop remarkable skills to hunt and forage beneath the snow's icy grip. When summer finally arrives, it is a fleeting, feverish burst of life. Meadows come alive and every creature races to make the most of the brief warmth. Snowmelt feeds roaring rivers and the tundra erupts in a riot of color, wildflowers painting the ground in defiance of the short season. It is a frantic race against time. Plants bloom, animals raise their young, and every heartbeat is a struggle to prepare for the cold's inevitable return. The scale of these mountains is humbling. Their wildness is absolute, their silence broken only by the wind and the distant call of an eagle. Within these vast unbroken ecosystems roam the continent's most iconic wildlife, grizzly bears, wolves, and mountain lions, each a master of survival in this unforgiving land. The Rockies' wilderness offers a rare glimpse into a world unchanged by time, a realm where nature's power and beauty remain unspoiled. These mountains are a symbol of freedom and the indomitable spirit of the wild, a place where the forces of nature still rule and every step is a test of resolve. To preserve this magnificent range is to protect not just a landscape, but a living testament to the planet's natural and spiritual legacy, a sanctuary for all who seek the challenge and solace of stone and sky. In the lush valleys and winding river systems of both the Smokies and the Rockies, a single animal stands out as a master engineer, profoundly shaping the landscape and the lives of countless other creatures. This is the North American beaver, a creature whose ingenuity and tireless work ethic have earned it legendary status among the wildlife of North America. With its broad, flat tail, powerful orange teeth, and webbed hind feet, the beaver is perfectly adapted for a life spent in and around water. Its dense, waterproof fur keeps it warm even in icy streams, while its nostrils and ears can close to keep water out as it dives. On land, the beaver may appear slow and awkward, its body built for swimming rather than running. But once it slips beneath the surface, it transforms into a graceful and agile swimmer, able to stay submerged for up to 15 minutes at a time. Driven by instinct and necessity, the beaver is a tireless worker, constantly building and maintaining its watery fortress. This fortress not only shelters its family, but also provides a safe haven from the many predators that roam the forests and riverbanks. The beaver's most remarkable behavior is the construction of dams, an engineering feat that transforms entire landscapes. These dams are built from sticks, logs, and mud, carefully arranged to slow the flow of water and create deep, calm ponds. Using their incredibly strong incisor teeth, beavers can fell trees with surprising speed, gnawing around the base until the trunk gives way. These teeth never stop growing, kept sharp and strong by constant use. Once a tree is down, the beaver cuts it into manageable pieces, dragging logs and branches through the water to add to its dam. Each stick is carefully placed and the structure is reinforced with mud and stones. The result is a dam so effective that it can turn a fast-flowing stream into a tranquil pond, raising the water level and creating a new aquatic world. This pond becomes the beaver's sanctuary, a moat that protects its home from predators such as coyotes, bears, and wolves who find it difficult to reach the lodge at the center. At the heart of the pond, the beaver constructs its lodge, a marvel of natural architecture rising above the waterline. The lodge is a dome-shaped structure built from a sturdy pile of sticks, logs, and mud. Its thick walls provide insulation against the cold and protection from intruders. The true genius of the lodge lies in its design. Inside, a network of tunnels and chambers creates a dry, warm living space above the waterline. Entrances are always located underwater, hidden from view, and accessible only to skilled swimmers. These submerged doorways lead up through winding tunnels into the safety of the lodge. This clever architecture ensures that the beaver family can remain safe and secure inside, even when the pond is frozen solid in the depths of winter. The lodge stays warm, insulated by snow and mud, while the water below provides an escape route if danger approaches. Within the lodge, the beaver family gathers. The young, called kits, are born in spring and spend their early months in the safety of the lodge, cared for and protected by the adults. The lodge is not just a shelter, but a nursery and a communal home where the family weathers the harshest seasons together. The beaver's work has a profound and positive impact on the entire ecosystem. By building dams and creating ponds, beavers earn the title of a keystone species, one whose presence supports a vast web of life. The ponds and wetlands they create become vibrant hubs of biodiversity, attracting birds, amphibians, fish, and countless insects. These new habitats offer food, shelter, and breeding grounds for a wide variety of species. Beaver wetlands filter pollutants from the water, improve water quality, and prevent soil erosion along stream banks. The rich plant life that flourishes in these wetlands provides food and cover for many animals, while the ponds offer refuge during droughts and harsh weather. By slowing the flow of water, beaver dams help maintain stream levels during dry periods, ensuring that water remains available for wildlife and plants, even in times of drought. In their quest to build a safe home, beavers become invaluable architects of the wilderness. Their industrious nature breathes new life and resilience into the mountain landscapes they inhabit, shaping the destiny of entire ecosystems for generations to come. High in the wind-swept alpine tundra of the Rocky Mountains, where the air is thin and the silence is broken only by the howl of the wind, a ghostly visitor sometimes appears, an apparition from the far north, shrouded in mystery and legend. This is the snowy owl, a silent hunter whose presence in these rugged peaks is as rare as it is mesmerizing. Originating from the endless white expanse of the Arctic, the snowy owl is a master of survival, perfectly adapted to some of the harshest environments on Earth. With a wingspan that can reach nearly 5 feet, the snowy owl's powerful wings propel it effortlessly through biting winds and swirling snow. Each feather is a marvel of evolution, soft-edged and densely packed, muffling the sound of flight so completely that the owl becomes a phantom, gliding silently above the frozen landscape. Its dense insulating plumage is not just for warmth, it is a suit of armor against the relentless cold, a shield that allows the owl to endure temperatures that would freeze most creatures solid. The striking white feathers, sometimes flecked with dark markings, provide perfect camouflage against the snow, rendering the owl nearly invisible to both prey and predator. Unlike most of its nocturnal relatives, the snowy owl is often active during the day, a remarkable adaptation to the Arctic's endless summer daylight. In the Rockies, this diurnal behavior continues, allowing the owl to hunt when the sun is high and shadows are few. Its eyes, a piercing yellow, are among the most striking features in the animal kingdom. These eyes are not just windows to the soul, they are precision instruments, capable of detecting the faintest movement across vast open spaces. Set within a disk of immaculate white feathers, the owl's forward-facing eyes grant it exceptional binocular vision, allowing it to judge distances with uncanny accuracy, a vital skill for a predator that must strike with speed and precision. From a high perch, the snowy owl surveys its domain, scanning the tundra and rocky slopes for the slightest sign of movement. Its patience is legendary. It can wait for hours, motionless, until the perfect moment to strike. In its native Arctic, the snowy owl's fate is tied to the rise and fall of lemming populations. These small rodents are the owl's primary food source, and their numbers can fluctuate wildly from year to year. When lemmings are abundant, the tundra teems with life, and the snowy owl thrives, raising large broods of chicks and feasting on the bounty. The owl's nest becomes a hub of activity, with hungry chicks demanding constant attention and a steady supply of food. The adult owl's hunting prowess is put to the test, as it must provide for its growing family in a land where every meal is hard won. But when the lemming population crashes, the landscape becomes eerily empty. The snowy owl faces a stark choice: stay and risk starvation, or embark on a perilous journey in search of new hunting grounds. In these lean years, a remarkable migration unfolds. Driven by hunger and instinct, snowy owls take to the skies in great numbers, traveling hundreds or even thousands of miles. Many journey south, crossing forests, plains, and mountains until they reach the high, desolate peaks of the Rockies, a phenomenon known as an eruption. Here, in these remote and unforgiving heights, the snowy owl becomes a living link between the Arctic and the Rockies, a testament to the resilience and adaptability of life. The arrival of the snowy owl in these mountains is a spectacle of endurance. Battling fierce winds and sudden storms, the owl stands resilient, its feathers ruffled but its spirit unbroken. Upon arrival, the snowy owl faces a new challenge: unfamiliar terrain and unfamiliar prey. The alpine tundra is a world apart from the Arctic, demanding new strategies and relentless determination. No longer able to rely on lemmings, the owl must adapt its hunting techniques to target the small mammals of the mountains. With keen eyes and silent wings, it stalks pikers and marmots, quick, elusive creatures that dart among the rocks and snow. The hunt is a test of patience and skill. The owl perches motionless, blending into the landscape, waiting for the slightest movement, a flash of fur, a rustle in the grass. With intense focus, it calculates the distance, the wind, and the angle of attack. Every muscle tenses in anticipation. Then, in a sudden burst of energy, the owl launches from its perch, wings unfurling in a silent explosion of power. It glides low over the ground, its broad wings barely making a sound, a ghostly shadow racing across the snow. In the sky, the snowy owl is a master of stealth, a phantom that seems to materialize from the clouds themselves. With breathtaking speed and precision, it dives toward its unsuspecting prey, talons extended, eyes locked on target. The final strike is swift and decisive, a testament to the owl's lethal efficiency. Its talons, sharp as knives, ensure that few escape its grasp. The presence of the snowy owl in the Rockies is a powerful symbol of the interconnectedness of nature. Its journey is shaped by forces far beyond these mountains, by the cycles of life and death in the distant Arctic, by the shifting seasons, and by the relentless drive to survive. The owl's migration is a living thread, weaving together ecosystems separated by thousands of miles. Its story is one of endurance, adaptation, and the unbreakable will to live. To witness a snowy owl in the wild is to glimpse the wild heart of the North, a creature forged by ice and wind, shaped by struggle, and defined by its relentless pursuit of survival. In the lonely expanse of the tundra or the rocky heights of the mountains, the snowy owl stands as a symbol of the untamed spirit of the world's coldest and highest places. A silent, beautiful hunter, the snowy owl navigates a life of constant challenge, its every movement a testament to the power and mystery of the wild. For all their grandeur and apparent timelessness, America's great mountain ranges are not immune to the relentless pressures of the modern world. These wild lands, shaped over millennia, now face challenges that threaten their very essence. The very beauty that draws us to these wild places is also a source of significant strain. Each year, millions are compelled to seek solace and adventure in these mountains, eager to experience their majesty firsthand. The Great Smoky Mountains, for instance, is the most visited national park in the United States, welcoming an astonishing number of people annually. This influx, while a testament to the park's allure, brings with it a cascade of environmental pressures. The immense popularity of these parks, while fostering a connection between people and nature, also introduces a host of challenges that ripple through the ecosystem. The sheer volume of traffic can lead to air pollution that obscures the famous hazy views and harms the delicate vegetation that gives the mountains their name. Exhaust from vehicles lingers in the valleys, compounding the natural haze and impacting both plant and animal life. The constant flow of visitors also has a direct impact on the ground. Trails, once narrow and winding, are widened by countless footsteps, and the fragile undergrowth is trampled, making it difficult for native plants to recover. Trails become eroded from the passage of countless hiking boots, widening and turning into muddy trenches that scar the landscape. Erosion not only mars the scenery but also disrupts water flow and soil stability, further stressing the ecosystem. The demand for parking lots, visitor centers, and other infrastructure fragments habitats, carving up the wilderness into smaller and less connected pieces. Each new road or building slices through the continuity of the forest, making it harder for wildlife to roam freely. This can disrupt the natural movement of wildlife, making it harder for animals to find food, mates, and safe territory. The presence of roads and barriers forces animals to navigate dangerous crossings, often with fatal consequences. Furthermore, increased human presence can lead to more frequent and sometimes negative encounters with wildlife. Animals like black bears, drawn to the scent of food, become accustomed to scavenging near people, a situation that endangers both wildlife and visitors, often resulting in tragic outcomes for the animals. The Rocky Mountains face similar pressures, compounded by the rapid growth of towns and resorts nestled within their valleys. As more people seek the mountain lifestyle, development pushes ever deeper into wild spaces. The development of ski areas, vacation homes, and sprawling communities encroaches ever further into once wild areas. Forests are cleared for new construction, and ski runs carve through habitats that once provided sanctuary for countless species. This expansion reduces the available habitat for large, wide-ranging species such as elk, grizzly bears, and wolves, which require vast, undisturbed territories to thrive. Fragmented landscapes force these animals into smaller, isolated pockets, increasing competition and stress. Fences, roads, and buildings create barriers that can isolate populations, reducing genetic diversity and making them more vulnerable to disease and environmental changes. The web of human infrastructure weaves a maze that wildlife must navigate, often at great peril. The quest for a home with a mountain view inadvertently chips away at the very wilderness that makes the view so desirable. Each new development, no matter how small, leaves a lasting mark on the landscape. Beyond the immediate footprint of visitors and residents, a more subtle but pervasive threat looms: pollution. The air itself carries the imprint of distant cities and industries drifting silently into these high places. Pollutants carried on the wind from distant cities and industrial areas can travel hundreds of miles, eventually settling in the seemingly pristine environments of the high mountains. These invisible invaders alter the chemistry of the air, water, and soil. This can result in acid rain, which damages sensitive forests, and the deposition of nitrogen, which can alter the delicate balance of soils and contaminate alpine lakes. The effects ripple outward, impacting every living thing in these ecosystems. These human-originated pressures create a complex web of challenges that threaten the long-term health and integrity of these magnificent mountain ecosystems. Yet, within this web lies the opportunity for thoughtful stewardship. Conservation efforts, ranging from habitat restoration to the creation of wildlife corridors and the enforcement of responsible tourism, offer hope. The future of these wild lands depends on our willingness to recognize their fragility and act with urgency and care, ensuring that the mountains remain a sanctuary for generations to come. In the vast forested expanses of the Smokies and the Rockies, fire is not just a natural force, it's a relentless, unpredictable adversary. For those who live, work, or venture into these wild lands, the threat of wildfire is ever present, lurking in the dry underbrush and whispering through the pines. For thousands of years, lightning has ignited blazes that sweep across ridges and valleys, shaping the very character of these mountains. These fires, once periodic and essential, cleared away dead growth and made room for new life. The aftermath of fire is paradoxical: charred earth giving rise to green shoots, seeds that only crack open in the searing heat, and a forest floor reborn from the ashes. This cycle, brutal yet vital, forged a landscape of resilience and diversity. The result was a patchwork of habitats, some young and raw, others ancient and towering, each supporting a unique web of life. Fire, in its natural rhythm, was the architect of abundance. But in recent decades, the nature of fire has changed. What was once a cleansing force has become a monster, devouring everything in its path. Wildfires now erupt with terrifying speed, fueled by conditions that are more extreme than ever before. Decades of aggressive fire suppression, men racing to extinguish every spark, every ember, have left the forests choked with fuel. The intention was protection, but the result was a ticking time bomb. Throughout the 20th century, the policy was simple: put out every fire, no matter how small. Fire crews, engines, and aircraft battled the flames, believing they were saving the forest. But with every fire suppressed, more deadwood, dry needles, and tangled undergrowth piled up. The forest floor became a powder keg, waiting for a single spark. Now the ground is littered with fuel, dead trees, brittle branches, and a mat of flammable debris. When fire comes, it finds a feast. The result? Catastrophic megafires, blazes so intense they leap from treetop to treetop, turning daylight to darkness and reducing entire mountainsides to smouldering ruin. These infernos are nearly impossible to stop. The danger is magnified by a changing climate. Drought grips the land, the air grows hotter, and the forests dry out, primed for ignition. Warmer temperatures, relentless drought, and early snowmelt stretch fire season longer each year. The window for disaster widens. In the Rockies, another enemy stalks the woods: the mountain pine beetle. Millions of trees stand dead, their bark riddled with tiny holes, their needles faded to red. Each one is a torch waiting to be lit. When fire hits these beetle-killed forests, it explodes, walls of flame racing through the dead timber, overwhelming even the most seasoned crews. Men on the fire line face a roaring, unpredictable beast. The aftermath is devastation. Habitats erased, wildlife fleeing or perishing, and thick smoke choking the air. The carbon released from these fires pours into the atmosphere, fueling the cycle further. Survival in this new era demands adaptation. Rangers and local men gather to strategize, studying maps, weather patterns, and fuel loads. Preparation is everything. The old ways of total suppression are giving way to smarter tactics. Controlled burns, carefully monitored, are set to thin the fuel and restore balance. In some places, naturally ignited fires are allowed to burn under strict supervision, reducing the risk of future catastrophe. Prescribed burns, set by teams of experts, mimic the natural cycle, removing excess fuel and giving the forest a fighting chance. These strategies are a shield, restoring the land, protecting communities, and ensuring that fire, though fierce, can once again be a force for renewal rather than destruction. In the wild heart of America, survival depends on respect, vigilance, and the courage to face the flames. Faced with these mounting pressures, a new and determined spirit of conservation is taking hold in America's great mountains. People are realizing that passive preservation is no longer enough. Active, innovative stewardship is required to protect these precious ecosystems for the future. In places like Rocky Mountain National Park, a multifaceted approach is being implemented to address the impacts of overwhelming visitor numbers. One of the most significant steps has been the introduction of a timed entry reservation system. This carefully manages the flow of people into the park, reducing congestion, easing pressure on fragile areas, and ensuring a more peaceful and enjoyable experience for everyone. Transportation within the parks is also being reimagined to lessen the environmental footprint. To combat air pollution and traffic jams, Rocky Mountain National Park has embraced cleaner technology. A fleet of hybrid electric shuttle buses now transports visitors along the park's most popular corridors. These buses significantly reduce greenhouse gas emissions and local air pollutants compared to the thousands of individual cars they replace. This initiative not only helps preserve the clear mountain air and stunning vistas, but also serves as a powerful example of how sustainable solutions can be integrated into the management of our most cherished natural spaces. Beyond managing human activity, incredible work is being done to heal and restore the land itself. In the Kawanichi Valley, on the west side of Rocky Mountain National Park, a partnership known as the Kawanichi Valley Restoration Collaborative is breathing new life into a damaged ecosystem. Years of water diversion and other impacts had caused streams to degrade and vital willow communities to disappear. This collaborative effort is restoring the natural flow of the river, replanting willows and rebuilding wetlands. This work is a beacon of hope, demonstrating that even damaged ecosystems can be brought back to health through dedicated, science-based restoration. These efforts represent a fundamental shift in our relationship with the wild. They are born from a deeper understanding of the intricate connections that sustain these mountain environments and a recognition of our responsibility to be active caretakers. From implementing fuel reduction measures to protect against catastrophic wildfires to restoring the natural habitats of keystone species like the beaver, these actions are not just about fixing past mistakes. They are about building a more resilient future for the mountains, a future where both nature and people can continue to thrive in harmony. The success stories emerging from these efforts are a testament to human ingenuity and dedication, offering a hopeful glimpse into a future where conservation and progress go hand in hand. The story of the Smoky and Rocky Mountains is, at its heart, a story of guardianship, a tale of men who have dedicated their lives to the land, forging a deep connection between earth and spirit, between ancient stone and the ever-changing present. These mountains, shaped by eons of geological upheaval, now face modern challenges that test the resolve of their protectors. The guardians of these wild places, rangers, biologists, and volunteers, do not see the mountains as distant, untouchable realms. For them, these peaks and valleys are living legacies entrusted to their care. The health of these mountains is a reflection of our planet's well-being, and the men who watch over them understand this bond intimately. The water that flows from their summits sustains cities far below, and the forests they protect help regulate the climate for all. These guardians walk beneath ancient canopies, their footsteps echoing the responsibility they carry. The sanctuary they defend offers immeasurable peace and healing, not only to themselves but to all who seek solace in these wild places. The future of these magnificent ranges rests in the hands of those who choose to stand watch. Their work is tireless, restoring trails, planting native trees, and mending the wounds left by storms and careless visitors. These men face daunting challenges: unpredictable weather, dwindling resources, and the ever-present threat of encroachment. Yet, even in solitude, they persist, knowing that their efforts ripple outward, shaping the fate of the mountains. The protection of these wild lands is not a solitary task. It demands a brotherhood, a collective commitment from all who have ever been moved by the majesty of a mountain vista. Every man who has stood in awe at a mountain overlook or found peace on a quiet trail shares in this guardianship. The mountains call to those who listen, offering a sense of purpose and belonging. Our choices, both large and small, send ripples through these wild places, reaching the highest peaks and the deepest valleys. How can each of us become a guardian? It begins with respect, by treading lightly, reading the signs, and honoring the rules set by those who know the land best. It means staying on marked trails, preventing erosion and protecting fragile habitats. It means packing out every scrap, leaving no trace, and never feeding the wildlife, allowing them to remain wild and free. The Guardians know that true stewardship means letting nature thrive on its own terms, supporting the parks and the organizations that defend them through volunteering, donations, or simply spreading the word is another way to join the ranks of the Guardians. Advocacy, too, is a powerful tool, raising voices for preservation, ensuring that the mountains remain wild for generations to come. Even daily choices, reducing waste, conserving energy, can help protect these distant peaks. The Guardians understand that every action, no matter how small, has consequences that reach even the most remote wilderness. The Great Smoky and Rocky Mountains are more than just stone and timber. They are living sanctuaries, home to creatures great and small, and to the men who watch over them. They are reservoirs of hope, wonder, and wildness in a world that grows ever more crowded. The Guardians find meaning in the silence of the valleys and the roar of the storms. They are reminded daily of nature's enduring power and their own humble place within it. By embracing their role as stewards, these men ensure that the mountains remain a source of awe and inspiration. Their dedication is a beacon, lighting the way for others to follow. Because of them, the bugle of the elk still echoes through the valleys, and the snowy owl finds refuge on the high peaks. Future generations of men will have the chance to stand in awe, to feel the same connection, and to answer the call of the mountains. The task is great, but the Brotherhood of Guardians is greater still, united by purpose, inspired by the wild, and steadfast in their dedication to the mountains they love. In the shadowed forests and silent meadows of America's wild mountains, another brotherhood thrives: the wolves. Masters of stealth and strategy, these elusive creatures move like whispers across the land, their presence felt but rarely seen. To truly know the mountains, one must glimpse the secret life of the wolf. The heart of every wolf pack is its social structure, a complex hierarchy built on loyalty, discipline, and mutual respect. At the core stands the alpha, a leader not by brute force alone, but by wisdom and experience. Around him the pack moves as a single living organism, brothers, sons, and cousins, each with a role to play. The beta stands ready to lead in times of need, while the younger wolves learn the ways of the hunt and the boundaries of their territory. Their survival depends on cooperation. When the moon rises over the ridgelines and the world is draped in silver, the pack assembles. Every movement is measured, every breath in sync as they slip through the undergrowth. Hunting is a test of unity. The wolves communicate with glances and subtle gestures, fanning out in calculated silence. They know the rhythms of the elk herds, the habits of wary deer, and the secret trails that wind through the pines. A chase begins not with chaos, but with careful planning. The wolves encircle their prey, reading the land and each other, anticipating every turn. When the moment is right, they surge forward, swift, focused, relentless. Success is not always guaranteed, but when the hunt is fruitful, the spoils are shared. The pack gathers, each member taking his place at the circle, the bond of brotherhood renewed with every meal. But the wild is unforgiving. The wolves face hunger, bitter cold, and the ever-present threat of rivals. They defend their territory with unwavering resolve, patrolling the borders, leaving silent warnings for outsiders. The strength of the pack lies in its unity, each wolf relying on his brothers for survival, comfort, and protection. In moments of peace, the wolves rest beneath ancient trees, nuzzling and playing, reinforcing their bonds. The elders teach the young, passing down the knowledge that has kept the pack alive for generations. Their howls rise into the night, a chorus that echoes across the valleys, a declaration of life and kinship in the vast, untamed wild. The Brotherhood of Wolves is a testament to the power of unity and the enduring spirit of the wild. Their story, woven into the fabric of the mountains, is one of resilience, cooperation, and the unbreakable ties of family. In the secret world of the wolves, every day is a battle, every night a celebration of survival, and their legacy runs as deep as the roots of the mountains themselves. Beneath the towering peaks and along the mist-laden slopes lies a world older than memory, a realm where ancient forests stand as living monuments to time itself. These woodlands, blanketed in a mosaic of emerald and shadow, are the silent sentinels of the wild mountains. Here, colossal trees stretch skyward, their roots tangled deep in the earth, binding soil and stone with the strength of centuries. Every trunk bears the scars of storms weathered and seasons past, whispering stories to those who listen. Within this cathedral of green, life thrives in astonishing variety. Moss carpets the forest floor, thick and lush, cushioning each step and muffling the sound of passing creatures. Ferns unfurl their delicate fronds in the filtered sunlight, while fungi in all shapes and colors break down the fallen giants, returning their strength to the soil. High in the canopy, red squirrels dart nimbly from branch to branch, harvesting pine cones and storing them in secret caches. Below, the mighty elk browse quietly among the undergrowth, their antlers weaving through the low branches. In the dim light near the forest floor, salamanders slip through the leaf litter, their skin glistening with the memory of rain. These forests are not merely collections of trees. They are intricate networks, each species relying on another for survival. The towering pines and firs fill to the air, drawing in carbon and exhaling life-giving oxygen. Their roots, intertwined below ground, form a vast web that shares nutrients and water, allowing even the youngest saplings a chance to reach the light. Predators and prey move in a delicate dance. The lynx, silent and elusive, stalks the snowshoe hare along hidden trails. Owls perch in the shadows, listening for the faintest rustle, while woodpeckers drum hollow trunks in search of insects. But survival here is a constant challenge. Bitter winters test every creature's endurance, and the lean months demand cleverness and resilience. Some animals burrow deep to escape the cold, while others migrate with the changing seasons, following ancient paths etched into their memory. Through fire, flood, and the relentless march of time, the ancient forests endure. They are the lungs of the mountains, the keepers of secrets and the cradle of countless lives. Their quiet strength shelters the wild heart of America, offering sanctuary to all who call these woods home. In the deep hush beneath their boughs, survival is not just a struggle. It is a testament to the enduring power of nature's design. Winding through the heart of these ancient forests and rugged mountains are the rivers, living veins that carve and nourish the wildlands. From icy headwaters high in the peaks, streams gather and tumble down steep slopes, braiding together into powerful currents. Their waters, clear and cold, breathe life into every corner of the wilderness. These rivers are more than channels of water, they are lifelines. Along their banks, willow and alder thrive, stabilizing the soil and offering shelter to countless creatures. Fish, like the noble salmon and elusive trout, journey upstream each year, overcoming rapids and waterfalls in a test of strength and instinct. Their epic migrations feed not only themselves, but also bears, eagles, and otters who await their arrival, a cycle of survival that has played out for millennia. In the shallows, beavers engineer elaborate dams, transforming the landscape and creating wetlands that teem with life. Frogs chorus at dusk, and dragonflies skim the surface, their iridescent wings catching the last light of day. Deer and elk wander down at dawn, their hooves pressing prints into the soft mud as they drink from the cool waters. But the story of the river is also one of resilience and adaptation. During spring's thaw, torrents of meltwater can flood banks and reshape entire valleys. Fallen trees and shifting stones are swept downstream, creating new habitats and opportunities for life to flourish. When drought grips the land, the river's flow dwindles, and the creatures that depend on it must search for hidden pools or dig deeper into the earth. Through every season, the river remains a constant, sometimes gentle, sometimes fierce, always shaping the land and the lives within it. It carries nutrients from mountain to meadow, linking distant ecosystems and ensuring that even the smallest creatures have a chance to survive. In the wild, water is more precious than gold. The river's course is a story written in stone and sand, a testament to the enduring connection between land, water, and life. As long as these rivers flow, the wild heart of America will continue to beat strong, sustaining all those who call its banks home. As dusk deepens, a new ruler stirs within the twilight shadows, one whose presence is sensed more often than seen. The mountain lion, also known as the cougar or puma, is the silent sovereign of these wild lands. With paws that barely whisper against pine needles and stone, it glides through its vast domain, unseen yet ever watchful. The territory of a single mountain lion can span hundreds of square miles, marked by clawed trees and scent trails that warn rivals to keep their distance. Solitary and elusive, this apex predator is a master of stealth. It moves with purpose, blending seamlessly into the rugged landscape. Dense forests, rocky outcrops, and hidden valleys all fall within its silent patrol. Hunting is a dance of patience and precision. From a concealed vantage, the mountain lion watches. Muscles coil beneath tawny fur as it waits for the perfect moment. When prey draws near, a deer, an elk, or even a nimble hare, the lion explodes into action, covering ground in a blur of power and grace. Using the element of surprise, it closes the distance in mere seconds, relying on strength and skill honed by generations of survival. Yet the mountain lion's role in the ecosystem goes far beyond the hunt. As a top predator, it shapes the balance of life beneath the canopy. By controlling deer and elk populations, it prevents overgrazing, allowing forests and meadows to regenerate. The remains of its meals provide sustenance for scavengers, foxes, birds, and beetles, ensuring that nothing is wasted in the cycle of life. The presence of the mountain lion is a sign of a healthy wilderness. Its territory encompasses the wild's most secret corners, a reminder that true wilderness still endures where the big cat's tracks are found. In every silent step and shadowed gaze, the mountain lion embodies the spirit of the untamed, patient, powerful, and forever wild. Standing tall against biting winds and winter's chill, the pine tree is a steadfast sentinel of the wild. With needle-like leaves that cluster in tufts, these evergreens have adapted to some of the harshest environments on Earth, from rocky mountain slopes to arid highlands where few plants dare to grow. Their thick, scaly bark shields them from fire and frost alike, while deep roots anchor them in thin, stony soil, drawing water from hidden reserves far beneath the surface. Pine cones, armored and woody, cradle seeds that may lie dormant for years waiting for the right moment, sometimes only after the heat of a wildfire cracks them open to begin the next generation. This remarkable adaptation ensures that pines not only survive disturbance but often thrive in its wake, restoring green to landscapes touched by flame. Beneath their canopy, a quiet world flourishes. Fallen needles create a soft, acidic carpet sheltering insects, fungi, and seedlings. Birds nest in the dense branches, while squirrels and chipmunks feast on the nutritious seeds. Even the air is shaped by pines, as their resinous scent drifts on the breeze and their needles release oxygen, renewing the forest with every breath. Pine trees are more than silent witnesses to the passage of time. They are architects of the ecosystem, providing shelter, food, and stability to countless forms of life. Their resilience is a testament to nature's ingenuity, reminding us that survival often means adapting, enduring, and standing strong season after season beneath the open sky.